Enlightenment is like that. When you withdraw your attention from this body and open up your inner experience of a self, of another body, which is different from this, similar to this, but little different because it behaves differently. It sees much better. These eyes have problems. Use glasses. Their vision is impaired. You go inside. Have you ever noticed that when you imagine things, that vision is perfect? And otherwise you're wearing glasses. Have you ever imagined that your hearing capacity is so good in your imaginary self and so poor outside when you are old? Because that does not decay. These sense perception do not decay in the inner body. And the inner body is functioning to make this body work. It's not that some people have an inner body, some don't. It is we all have to have that. What are those inner body called? Sense perceptions. There is no body. Sense perceptions put together make up that body. Without that body, we would have no sense perceptions on this body. If we didn't have sense perception of this body, we couldn't have them in a dream either. So therefore, the sense perceptions is that sensory body or astral body, which we realize just by pulling our attention back to the center of our head. That's a very eye-opening experience. Now, people ask me, how do you know that you are really awakened and not making up this like a dream-like state? My counter question is, when you wake up in the morning, how do you know you are awake? Have you ever asked anybody to check out if you are awake? Have you pinched yourself to see if you are awake? You go to sleep. In the morning you are awake. Awake does not mean movement. You are still lying in bed, eyes closed, same state in which you went to sleep. And yet you know you are awake. And if supposing 10 people came and said, no, you are not awake, will you believe those 10 people or your own state of wakefulness? What is the state of wakefulness that is so overriding convincing, so powerfully convincing that nobody can say you are not awake if you are awake? That is because when you go to sleep, you forget where you are. When you remember where you slept, you are awake. You don't have to open your eyes. Supposing we sleep in a bed and then in the morning we are awake, first thing is not that we open our eyes to know we are awake. We know we are awake because we remember we went to sleep. That's simple. When you awaken to a higher level of consciousness by withdrawing attention from this, you awaken to that state where you recall you were there before you were here. And that's the ultimate proof of itself. You don't need outside proof whether your experience was real or unreal, or whether you made it up or not made it up. It's your experience of higher wakefulness. So that is why the experience itself carries its certainty. Just like the experience of waking up from sleep itself carries the certainty that you are awake. When that happens, you discover that what this physical body was a very temporary thing, for a very short period of time. Very quickly we born, we grow up, we grow old, and if you look back upon life in an old age, then you realize how quickly time has passed and in the cosmos and the experience outside, the possibility of life is the millions and billions of years. We come here for a short period. How could this be our life? And awakening tells you, no, you were here before too. That's a very big discovery for yourself, that this is just a cover, that you just took up another temporary body to have this experience. Now you're having a different experience. The astral self or the sensory self is also generated only to have a certain experience, sensory experience. It can be sensory experience without matter, without any physical matter. To make it physical matter, we take this body on top of it. Then this becomes physical world and physical matter. You withdraw, you go into a non-physical world, a non-physical matter. It's not physical, but it's there. It's totally visible and tactile, touchable. It's totally smelled. All the senses are intact when you awake to a higher level of consciousness. And yet, you're not tied down by gravity. You're not tied down by age and appearance. You're not tied down by so many things that are bothering us here. And that's our own identity inside. We all have it and can be discovered by simple process of withdrawing our attention behind the eyes to where we think we are operating from now, where we are awake now. The process is very simple. We have made it difficult because of our attachments and constant reliance upon what is external outside of us. Never having examined that we can pull our attention back and examine what's happening if we did not pay our attention outside. Very simple proposition. Don't pay attention outside, pay attention inside, open up everything. Period. It's not something that is so fantastic you have to stand in a river and meditate and look at the sun or go to ascended masters in the Himalayas or look for some particular. It's all within you. Just pull your attention within and see what it is. Don't have to ask anybody what is there. Check it out yourself. It's just a good guide to know that people who have done it, what they've seen is so universal, it's so common that we can all say, that is, we understand how it is operating.